The worst kept secret in pro cycling. So let's get this straight right from the start, guys. Remco Evenepoels tried to keep a secret, and honestly, bless his heart for even attempting it, because when you're Remco, the most overanalyzed, overreported and overly discussed rider in cycling right now, you cannot so much as sneeze without some Belgian journalists publishing a 2,000-word feature about it. The secret in question here, his rumoured plan to attempt the hour record before Pogačar, that magical, soul-destroying 60 minutes of pain where a rider circles a velodrome like a deranged hamster, trying to cover more distance than anyone else in the history of the sport. It's cycling's most brutal IQ test. All you need is a fixed-geared bike, a pair of lungs bigger than Belgium itself, and the mental resilience to suffer exactly 1 hour of unrelenting agony without exploding. The hour record has always been something of a holy grail. Names like Coppi and Coletil, Merckx, and Boardman all etch themselves into cycling folklore with their hour-long sessions. Today, it's Filippo Ganna who holds the crown after his monstrous 56.7 Ks at the Tissot Velodrome in 2022. And let's be honest, when Ganna broke it, he made it look like he was just finishing up a Zwift warm-up before doing some actual training. So why is Remco Evenepoels suddenly in the mix here? Well, according to him, it wasn't supposed to be sudden at all. He's been quietly plotting it, carefully tucking this goal away as something for later in his career, a cherry on top of his sundae, and yet, thanks to the invasive microscope that is cycling journalism, the lid has just got blown off. When asked point blank about it, Remco squirmed. He dodged, he downplayed, he eventually admitted, quote, "Not in the near future, but maybe when I'm over 30. When is classic Remco code for, yes, I want this desperately. I've been dreaming about it since my junior football days, but please stop talking about it until I've got another 2 Grand Tours under my belt. Of course, once he said it, the secret was out. Now we all know. The hour record is on Remco's radar as well as Pogačar's. And honestly, it makes perfect sense, and I think Remco has way more of a chance than Pogačar. Why the hour record fits Remco like a skin suit. Here's the thing, if you were building the perfect rider for the hour record in a lab, you'd probably end up with something not unlike Remco Evenepoels. Forget the jokes about his baby face or his occasional meltdowns when he's dropped on a mountain. When it comes to flat, consistent, measured effort, Remco is basically a biological metronome. So let's tick off the reasons. Firstly, he's a world-class time trialist. Remco is arguably the best time trialist in the world right now. Yes, Ganna has the raw power, and Roglic can pull a miracle TT out of nowhere, but Remco's consistency across time trials is unmatched. He can lock into a rhythm and hold it for frightening lengths of time, which is basically the definition of the hour record. The second reason, his aerodynamic obsessions. Anyone who's watched Remco knows he's that guy. The one who tucks into an aero position, descending at 100 k's an hour just to save a watt or two. If the hour record is a game of physics, aerodynamics versus physiology, then Remco's obsession with free speed is going to pay dividends. Reason number 3 is his physiology. Remco's engine is built for this. He's got the VO2 max numbers, the lactate threshold that looks like it belongs to a mutant, and the mental stubbornness to push through the wall and then keep on pushing. Next reason, Belgian ego factor. Let's not forget the pride. Belgium needs its champion to do big, ridiculous things, and breaking the hour record would be an event on par with winning the Ronde or the Tour. It's national duty at this point. Now, some people will argue that Remco doesn't yet have the patience for something like this, that he's still too hot-headed, too desperate to attack, and too easily flustered. But that's exactly why he's earmarked it for, quote, over 30. He knows that he needs a few more years of Grand Tour disciplines, a few more seasons of handling disappointment and bouncing back, and, let's be honest, a few more grey hairs before he's mentally ready for 60 minutes of staring at a velodrome's blue line. And there's one thing, or one more piece of evidence, that makes this fit perfectly. Remco's history as a footballer. People forget that before cycling, he was on the books at Anderlecht and the Belgian national youth squads. Footballers train interval after interval, sprint after sprint, with discipline and repetition. When he switched to cycling, that mindset turned him into a time trial monster almost overnight. The hour record is just the purest expression of that. Disciplined repetition for exactly 1 hour. The science of 60 minutes. Alright, let's talk science, because the hour record isn't just about being strong, it's about being strong and efficient and slightly insane. Here are the numbers Remco will be up against. Garner's record is 56.792 kilometers. That's averaging just under 380 watts for a full hour, while maintaining an aero position that looks like human origami. The maths of Remco's physiology, based on his reported FTP north of 6.2 watts per kilo, and his ability to hold close to 450 watts in time trials, Remco has the raw power based on these numbers, but the challenge isn't producing that power, it's producing it in a windless box, on a fixed gear bike, without going mad. First, we have the aerodynamics. So Remco's team, whoever he's riding for when he attempts this, will spend months in wind tunnels, tweaking his helmet shape, adjusting his skin suit seams, and maybe even convincing him to shave his eyebrows if it saves a watt. Every fraction counts. Then we have altitude versus sea level. Some records have been set at altitude, in the velodromes like Mexico City, where thinner air reduces drag. Garner set his at sea level in Switzerland. Remco will need to choose his battleground wisely. Does he go high altitude to cheat the physics, or does he keep it old school? Next we'll have pacing. This is where it all comes down. The difference between breaking the record and blowing up spectacularly isn't watts, it's actually pacing. Go out 1% too hard and you're crawling by the 40-minute mark. Go out too conservatively and you run out of track. The pacing strategy is almost as important as the training itself. And make no mistake, the training will be savage. Remco will need to ramp up mileage, build his endurance base even further, and grind through endless threshold sessions that mimic the monotony of the velodrome. His calendar might look like fewer explosive stage races, attacks, and more long, steady efforts designed to hardwire his body for that 60-minute power output. It's the kind of suffering that Remco has actually admitted he thrives on. In interviews, he's always been very open. He likes controlled suffering. He likes the test of pure power. That's why time trials suit him better than mountain slugfest with Pogačar. And that's why the hour record might be his ultimate playground. The big reveal and the media circus. So how did this secret come out? Classic cycling media. Someone asked Remco about it in an interview, expecting him to laugh it off or say no. His answer, quote, "Not in the near future, but maybe when I'm over 30. This answer was basically confirmation. You could almost see his PR team slamming their heads against the desk as he said it. Because once you've admitted that, every race, every training ride, every watt file is going to be analysed through the "is Remco prepping for the hour" lens. The media circus will be spectacular. Belgian outlets will run countdown timers, and fans will camp outside whichever velodrome he chooses. Specialized, or whatever brand he's with at the time, will drip feed teasers of his custom hour record bike like it's the launch of a new iPhone. And you can already imagine the rivalries. Will Garner respond? Will Wiggins make a smug comment? Will Filippo threaten to take back the record if Remco breaks it? Comment down below your opinion and leave a like on today's video for good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to subscribe to my channel if this is your first time here. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with all of the latest news, all of the latest drama, and all of the latest results from the cycling world. Thank you, and I'll catch you tomorrow.